G'day trendsetters, I'm John with Gravel Cyclist. Bloody hell, every time I start a video, a dog runs into the picture. I've got two nitty dogs here today. Okay, righto, so where was I? Yes, I lost my train of thought. Inside this diminutive box, and here's the dog for size. Hey, stop your squawking. Right, look at that. That's the dog, that's the box. That's a frame inside this box, and that signifies could be a new project bike in the works. Now, I still ride the road semi-regularly, especially during the summer months. That's how I get my intervals in, mostly suffering with my mates who like to punish me in rotating pace lines. That point aside, inside this box is a bike from those boffins of titanium bike manufacturing, Lynskey of Chattanooga, Tennessee. In fact, I've got a Lynskey factory tour video linked below and a detailed series of interviews with Mr. Lynskey himself. So they're from a couple of years ago, but be sure to check those out, linked in the description below. This is the Helix Pro road frame and matching fork. And of course, I have a group set to go with it. I'll drag the big parts box over right now. Voila, a massive pile of parts from my good friends at Shimano. Inside this box, the components for the Shimano Ultegra 12-speed Di2, the latest edition of Ultegra's semi-wireless Di2 hydraulic brake electronic shifting system, including parts from Shimano's sister company Pro, such as handlebar, seat post, saddle, and so on. So I'll get these out of the box in a moment, and it's time to drag a wheel set in as well, one of many that might be featuring on this build. Hold on, and here we go. This is the latest all-road wheel set from my friends at Karima. I have a review of this wheel set coming. This is probably the first time you're seeing this wheel set. I've got so many projects in the works in my gravel cyclist life, my regular 40-hour-a-week job life, my car life, also screw around with a couple of automobiles, and my house and girlfriend, obviously, Lady Gravel Cyclist. Okay, enough excuses. This is one of many wheel sets that are likely going to be ridden on this bike. I like to ride different wheel sets to kind of get a good overall feel of how a bike rolls, rumbles down the road, etc., with different wheels installed. Incidentally, Karima, made in France. Pretty tasty stuff. All right, without further gas bagging on, I know you want to see me pull this frame and fork out of the box, and I'm sure Lynskey would appreciate it as well. So let's get cracking. I love this small packaging Lynskey does for their frames. Nothing worse than getting a massive frame box and a ton of room inside. There is the fork. We'll unwrap that shortly. And we'll unwrap the frame, which has been anodized. Lynskey Helix Pro. Here you go, trendsetters. The Helix Pro has a very distinctive twisted down tube, and all the cables in this frame are run internally, and obviously it's going to be a Di2 build. In fact, let's get the handy GoPro out so I can do a nice pass over for you. The disc brake fork supplied with a Robert through axle. I have toured that facility. Be sure to check it out, linked in the description below. Lynskey disc brake fork designed for rotary type bikes, tapered steerer tube. Crown race has already been installed for the Cane Creek headset, and we've got ourselves an FSA steerer plug. Here is the massive box of parts. Now I know what you're wondering. Shut up and weigh all this stuff. Now the weighing process begins with the frame. This includes the through axle by Robert Axle Project and the seat clamp, Now, not a light frame by any means. 1,732.5 grams, including bottle cage bolts, the fork, uncut steerer, through bolt, and crown brace included. 457 grams. So that's obviously going to lose a little bit of weight. The Pro Vibe Carbon C-Post, 27.2 by 350 millimeters on the scale, coming in at 204 grams. Vibe Carbon Stem, aluminium faceplate, 110 millimeters in length. Onto the scale, 135 grams. Vibe carbon handlebar in 40 centimeter center to center. 31.8 millimeter clamp. You might notice here these little tube pieces, that's for routing the cables internally if you decide to go down that path route, so to speak. And there you can see the drop of the handlebar. Okay, onto the scale. This is going to be tricky. 216 grams with the cable guides. Stealth Performance Saddle. Okay, onto the gram scale. 208 grams. Disc brake rotors, a pair of these in 160 millimeter. Be careful not to touch the braking surface. 108 grams. Here's the Ultegra cassette, the 11:34 ratio. And the thing I like about this cassette is there's no special free hub body. It utilized the existing 1011 speed body by Shimano that's been around for a long time. Very similar looking to what we've seen in the past from Shimano. So now I'm going to weigh this with the little plastic carrier here, throw onto the scale. 346, so we can probably factor in about 6 grams of that carrier, so roughly 340 grams. Rear derailleur, Di2 variant, RD-R8150. Pretty nice looking unit, I reckon. Onto the gram scale. 260 grams. Front derailleur. Obviously this is optimized for 12 speed. Onto the gram scale, 109.5 grams. Bottom bracket, English thread, 68 millimeter. With this plastic centerpiece. You could ditch this if you wanted to save a couple of grams. I don't think it's really worth it. Onto the gram scale. 77 grams. E-tube electric wire, we've got 2 lengths, 800 millimeters. This is going to link the front derailleur to the battery. A paltry 7.5 grams. This cable will link the rear derailleur to the battery. Wow, these connectors are different than the earlier version of E-tube. I wasn't aware of that. It might be a little bit difficult to see, but notice the size of the connector right there. I don't have the 2nd gen E-tube handy with me to compare, but definitely a lot smaller. All right then, throw them onto the gram scale. 9.5 grams. Uncut 12-speed chain and master link. 283 grams. Left side electronic shifter / brake lever. Quite different looking versus the earlier generation. 202 grams. Hydraulic brake caliper with the flat mount. Thankfully, these are universal. You can run them with 160 or 140 millimeter rotors, which I love. Another brand out there has size-specific calipers for rotors, which is a complete pain in the bum. 167 grams. Right side Di2 shifter. And this will perform the function of the rear brake. Like, I prefer Euro style versus Aussie style, which is motorbike style. If I rode a motorcycle, I would definitely be braking on the front with the right side, but whatever floats your boat, right? Gram scale, 202.5 grams. This will be the rear caliper, 167 grams. Crankset with 50-34 rings. And you can see they've got the same axle here. They haven't changed the standard, thankfully. 24mm axle, very nice, thank you Shimano. 514 grams. Drive side and the tensioning cap, 202 grams. Very important, I forgot to weigh the battery during the earlier weighing scenes. 52.5 grams. Let's throw the assorted frame grommets onto the scale. And have the dog walking in the shop while I'm doing this. Oh yeah, 6.5 grams. Cane Creek headset, which is basically two bearings and a really nice low profile top cap. Love that. Don't forget the crown races are already installed onto the fork. 61 grams. Steerer expander. Very important for the fork and the stem and handlebar interface. 41 grams. There are lighter alternatives if you want to spend cash. Don't forget one thing, the lighter the bike part, the lighter the wallet. Rightio trendsetter, so there it is, the unveiling of my latest road bike project. And you know, me being me, I'll be taking this bike onto some of the gravelly roads less traveled because this frame will fit 32s, and you can ride 32s if you've got some good skills and so on, especially on some of the hard pack out there. What's next? Coming soon, the build videos of this big assortment of parts being handled by my good friends at Brickyard Bike Co. They've got two stores. One is in the original location in Phenix City, Alabama, just across the Chattahoochee River from Columbus, Georgia, and their latest location in Dothan, Alabama. My good mate Pete, g'day mate if you're watching, he's helped me with every single crazy build project I've ever had since I first started the Gravel Cyclist YouTube channel. In fact, check out the latest one. It involves the classified system and a really interesting 9er MCR9 RDO with Campagnolo on a 9er. Wild stuff. Alrighty, time to wind it up here. As always, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the Gravel Cyclist YouTube channel for interesting content such as this. No bull gravel bike reviews, other product reviews, ride experience videos, and of course, bloody madness from these dogs. Here they are again. It's Tuesday. As all of it, and there's Dixie as well, as all of it is released to the channel. I'll see you crazy dogs. That's right, in the next video. Oh my gosh, what are you doing? Where did I go wrong with my life?